Hey, what's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. Today I'm gonna have to hold my microphone because I can't hang it here. It's making my t-shirt kind of hang. I hope you guys are okay. This hasn't been the best week for most of us. Obviously, it's like one of the worst times to be a Kenyan, one of the saddest moments to be a Kenyan. All of you knows what's been happening. Unless you're living under a rock, you know what's been happening in Kenya. I think basically this is an international news, like it's been trending for a while now. So the death of Albert Ojwang in Kenya in the hands of the police has been the worst thing ever. This has happened so many times. Obviously, there's a specialty to this particular one because we kind of see how blatant it is. And why am I talking about this death on a finance channel now? There are different reasons. Number one, I always say in my channel that finances are not standalone pillars in a society. Your financial journey, your financial success depends on the society in which you live as well. Especially those of us who just work hard, you want to invest, you want to make sure you have some level of security financially speaking, you want to take care of people around you. What matters to you is that safety, right? But what meaning is it building that safety net financially speaking if you're not safe in your society? What meaning is it having financial success, having all those investments if your life is not safe? And that's why I don't agree with people who say, hey, leave politics alone, don't talk about politics. I don't agree with that. And if you think that's something I shouldn't be talking about, then you don't have to watch the video. I'm always very clear that every single thing we talk about, even the finance bill we're talking about right now, is politically connected. Finances, politics, law, all these things are tightly connected. And I believe that when something like this happens, we have to put our tools down, we have to stop whatever it is we're doing and speak about it. We might not have the details and speak about it in a way that is derogatory, but we have to speak about it in an open manner so that we can draw lessons from it, even from a financial perspective. Second reason is I'm a political human being. I love politics. I love politics. Why? Because I believe it affects our lives every single day. Whether you want it or you don't want it, politics is part and parcel of your life. Would you rather sit down somewhere at the back of the class and watch people make decisions over your life without you having a say? Then why do you need to invest anyway? Why do you need a system that will guarantee your investments are safe, everything is safe? And remember, your biggest investment is your life and the people around you. If they're not safe, you don't need to have money. We don't need to talk about money. We don't need to talk about financial security without that guarantee that you'll be there to even enjoy it. Let natural causes kill you. Just die through a natural cause, through diseases. We're all gonna die at some point. That's just part of life. But don't let it be a system that we have created, that we have the power to change, be what kills us and finishes us. So as young people, please, wherever you are, whatever it is you do, whether it is on this social media space, we have to speak about these things because this is the voice we have. These are the platforms we have. The people we trust with such responsibilities have failed us. They're the same people killing us, right? They're the same people killing us. So we can't trust them to do what is right by us. So that's why we have to talk about politics. Politics affect your life. Politics affect your finances. Politics determines every single day how you're going to live your life. If you are safe or not, if you're going to live tomorrow or not, that's politics and that's law and that's everything in the society. So yes, sometimes we have to put things down and talk about certain things that are happening within the society because they determine how we are going to live in that society going forward. Being a Kenyan, despite your investments, despite what we're doing financially speaking, if you are not safe, everything else doesn't matter. It's that life that you have that we try to make better by having financial success. But if you don't have that life, if that life is not guaranteed, if the right to that life is not guaranteed, then what else do we have? There's no need even talking about all these money issues, right? So that's why we have to sometimes put everything down, look at what is happening in the society and speak about it firmly, loudly, and bravely, guys. In my other life, I talk about politics all the time. I don't usually bring it to the channel, but this is just not about politics. It's about someone dying, a young person being picked by police officers and being murdered blatantly. Why? Because it's happened so many times, they know nothing will happen. And if we don't talk about it, trust you me, no one will be there to talk about yours when they come for you. It could be you, could be your child, could be your brother, could be your sister, anyone. Sometimes we are so deluded, we only believe it when it knocks onto your door. But before it knocks onto your door, you might think it's too far. It's not too far. If we want to believe in a normal society where our finances and our money make sense, our businesses make sense, all these things we're talking about, all these skills and development will make sense, it has to be in a just society. It has to be a society that we can stand up and speak about and speak firmly if something is going wrong. So for context, for those who don't know, Albert Ojwang is a young guy who was murdered by the police in Kenya. He was picked from his home, from his parents, by 6 police officers, I believe, driven to Nairobi and killed. We don't know what happened between the time he was picked from his home on Saturday afternoon all the way to the next day morning when he died, or when they pronounced him dead. We don't know what happened. We don't know what they did to him. I'm not going to go into those details, but I want us to look at certain things here that we could learn and can even help you financially speaking. Number one, if a system is broken, don't think you're safe. Whether you make your finances, whether you make your investments, whether you build all these things we're talking about here every single day, if we do not stand up and make a system safe for everyone, there's nothing that we're worried about. There's no reason talking about all these finances we talk about. And that's why even you guys watching me right now, or young people watching me right now, if you don't stand up and if you don't speak, I don't mean you have to go and protest or anything, but you have to speak. You have to speak against certain ills in society. Because if that system is not working, trust you me, everything else we've been trying to say, it matters not. We're just wasting our time. Right? Who wants to invest in a system whereby you are not sure you'll be alive tomorrow? Which young person wants to start building wealth seriously and committing to that journey if you're not sure you're going to be alive the next day? Who wants that? You want to be sure that you're going to be alive, and that's why we talk about retirement. That's why we talk about future life. That's why we talk about investments. All these things are supposed to give you some level of security, financially speaking. But that security is only important if you're alive. Without that life, it makes no sense. So in a broken system, we all have to come up and speak. And that's one lesson we must learn from Ojwang's death. That, hey, this system is ours. This is the only country we have. We have to come out strongly and speak against certain things happening. You can't be nonchalant about it. You can't be uncaring about it. You can't be unbothered about it until injustice hits your door. And then you call upon people now to come and support you. So even if you're building wealth right now, talking about finances right now, remember, as you do all your stuff, be someone who is contributing positively to building a strong system. How? By making sure that you speak against such things when they happen. Someone is murdered. Someone is blatantly murdered. And they want us to believe that the same people we are accusing of murdering this person are the same people who are supposed to lead the investigation. How does that happen? And this is someone dying in custody. This is someone dying in the hands of the people who are supposed to protect him. Now, how safe are you? And so that's why I'm saying, even as you build your wealth, even as you talk about your finances, even as you try your new businesses, just know a system has to work for you. The system has to support you in that process. If it doesn't support you, it becomes extremely difficult and extremely unpredictable. And you can't be sure about that future anyways. So please, speak about things happening in the system. It affects you. It's part of that journey as well. Now, the other lesson I learned from Ojwang's death, and I know this just happened recently, so a lot of emotions are still running high, but you pick lessons. They say that, you know what, clever people look at situations and they pick lessons from it. You don't have to wait long. You can see trends. You can pick lessons. I'm saying this from a teaching perspective. I do not know Albert Ojwang as deeply, but just for young people, what I've just learned from my pain, from the pain I felt when I heard about Albert dying so young. You know, as a young person, start to put your things in order. You know what? You never know. Sometimes we always bustle in that youth. We always have that confidence that we are still young. We always have that confidence that we have a lot of time to go, right? But the earlier you start putting your things in order, the better. I don't know about Albert Ojwang and how prepared he was. I don't know his details. I'm just saying, as young people, even as we fight for the system to be just, let's be people who are prepared. Let's just prepare ourselves, because sometimes we do become comfortable in our youthfulness and we know that everything shall be all right because we have enough time. Sometimes you don't have that time, especially if you already have a wife or you have a kid. Empower them, empower your people, empower your wife. Let people be in a position to live without you. Let people be in a position to live without your presence and your handouts. That's a very important lesson. And this goes to all the young people in Kenya. As we fight for a just system, don't ever assume that because you are young, nothing could happen. Don't ever assume, especially if now we are busy electing corrupt people who allow certain people to hold positions of power that can just kill you in a heartbeat. One single social media post can lead to your death. That's how precarious it is. And financially speaking, I'm saying this, as young people, don't think you have so much time, because you know what? Death is part of life. Death is part of life. It happens, okay? So there's nothing like too early preparation. Prepare. Put something small aside. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be important, especially if you have a family, if you have a child, if you have a wife. put something aside. Not just whatever it is you are investing, but in terms of, are they able to survive without you? Are they in a position to live without you? I'm glad and I'm happy that Ojwangs will be living comfortably without him, because Kenyans have rallied together and gone in there and actually contributed so much money. I'm happy about that. I'm delighted. But what of those who will not be lucky enough to have that kind of national outrage, which will lead to people contributing to your family, So from an individual basis, from an individual standpoint, make sure you're preparing that, what, if anything were to happen to you at any point in your life, it doesn't have to be being killed by police, you are prepared financially, and the people in your life will not have to suffer so much. I don't think there's anything better than being on your deathbed and knowing that the people you left behind won't be struggling so much. That's the financial security we talk about. It's not just for you, it's also for the people who depend on you, especially if you have dependents, especially if you have kids, especially if you have a wife. Don't just give them handouts. Don't just take care. That's why I don't agree with the idea of just fully taking care of someone. You have to have someone in your life who has been able to handle money. You must have someone in your life who has been able to deal with money issues so that they are able to do certain things even in your absence. And also, you have to be careful the person you marry. You have to be careful the person you choose as your partner. Why? Because these people could be the people who will take on your legacy. These are the people who would have to be there for your child. These are the people who would have to make sure that, your bloodline lives on. So be careful the people you choose to have as your partners, right? Like I said, I don't know about Albert Ojwang. I'm just speaking lessons as a young person here. I'm saying, hey, it is important for us to have some level of security as young people. And it's important for us to start it as early as possible. And it's also important for us to choose people who are empowered to be around us. People who can go out there and hustle on their own. People who can go out there and make it without us being present. Sometimes I hear these men talking about how I don't want my wife to earn so much. I don't want my wife to do this kind of job. I don't want my wife to do I don't know what. I don't want my wife to do. All these mentalities, we have to get rid of them. The world has changed now, right? Allow the people around you to be empowered enough to make some money. It's okay to take care of someone if you can. It's perfectly fine, but make sure they have certain things they can do. Either they understand what you're doing perfectly well so they can take over, or they have their own skill that can bring them in money, or they can handle money that has been invested already. There are different skills that people can have. The other important bit here is the way you vote in that ballot determines your financial success in the country. I mentioned earlier, in a broken system, it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for me. We vote so badly. We know how we vote. I won't get into the politics of how we vote. We know how we vote. We know how we make decisions. We know the kind of people we put in power because you can see them all over the place. You can even see them right now during this crisis, right? And this tells you exactly the kind of people we vote into power. But just remember, when you're casting that vote also determines how easy it is for you to make it, financially speaking, in that economy. You vote in people who are busy stealing the country to its knees, you're going to have a difficult time making money. You vote in people who don't care about jobs, you're going to have a difficult time having a job. You vote in people who are corrupt, you're going to have a difficult time having money in your pocket. You vote in people who are corrupt, you're going to have a difficult time running a business in that country. You vote in people who are incompetent and do not understand the economy, you're going to have a hard time having proper regulations that can make you rich in that country. You vote in people who are callous, like we've just seen with some of these bosses we see right now, you're going to have a hard time running anything genuine that gives you cash flow in that country. Because if someone decides to come and take your thing tomorrow, you have no recourse because you haven't voted wisely. When you vote, it's as if you're also investing. Voting and investing are exactly the same thing. You are investing in your future. You are investing in your security. You are investing in your health. You are investing in your education. You are investing in your bloodline. You are investing in your children's legacy. You are investing in that country. You are investing in the kind of economy you want to have. So that vote that we usually carry is very critical. And sometimes when we go and vote, we don't link it to the money in our pockets, but it directly links to the money that goes into your pocket. It directly impacts it. It impacts how you live. It impacts every single thing about you. So vote wisely, knowing that that's a proper investment. Probably one of the biggest investments you're making after every 5 years. And remember, when you make that investment, it's locked for 5 years. Every time you make that investment, it's locked for 5 years. We all know that corruption can bring every hard work to a halt. Every single hard work you've done can be brought to a halt by corruption. You start a business today, Kanjo comes tomorrow, kicks everything out. You do this today, tomorrow some regulatory authority comes and kicks it out. You have no recourse, you have no voice, you have nowhere to turn to. A broken system, we do not have to talk about personal finance. If you're in a broken system, Don't worry about personal finance. It doesn't matter. That's why I was saying today I have to talk about this. And Albert, may his soul rest in peace. It's been one of the saddest weeks of my life. I have been ashamed to call myself a Kenyan. I have been ashamed to associate myself with that country. But I've also felt the rage and the need to stand up for ourselves. Because you know what? We are on our own as young people. We are on our own as young people. And may that man's soul rest in peace. But he has woken something in us. And I hope that this thing doesn't die without proper changes, without proper consequences for those who are involved. It's not just about the consequences for those who are involved. No, it's also about properly changing the system. Because Ojwang is just like that light that has just made everything brighter, and we can see all the ills that have been committed. We know how people have been killed in Kenya. We know how many young people have been killed. It's not just Albert Ojwang. So many young people have been killed in that country. It's not one person. But this is that moment. And I'm hoping we use this moment to turn things around. I'm hoping we use this moment to make this a proper change whereby we will feel safe in our own country. There is no need of us talking about money if we don't feel safe in our own country. So please, guys, as a young person, look beyond your nose. These things affect you, these things impact you, and be ready to stand up for them. Be ready to fight for these things, okay? There will be more lessons to learn from this process, and I have so many lessons that I can pick from this death, but I've just told you a few of them that are quite important, guys. So let me know, guys. It's been a tough week, I understand. It's been a really difficult week. As we go through this process right now, as we look at the investigation and how things are spiraling, I hope you guys are fine. Take care of yourself. If you're arrested, please call your family member, call a lawyer, talk to people. Please, 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 guys. Let's be safe first. Nothing else matters without safety. Nothing else matters without a life. So please, be safe wherever you are. To Albert Ojwang, rest in peace.